welcome to Scrapping on the Fly. My name is Kristen, and I'm here with the Cheers to the New Year annual wrap up and plans for 2024. And so I normally would be on camera doing this. It's the one time a year that I get in front of the camera and kind of do a self-interview with a list of questions that were posted on the Scrappy Inspiration site. However, not to be a Debbie Downer, but yesterday was a pretty rough day. We had to let assist our dog to crossing over the Rainbow Bridge, and so my face is puffy and swollen, and so I'm not doing that. So I am gonna entertain myself by creating this video and sharing some of the things that I have learned, my favorite layouts, some scrappy things from this year to preoccupy my brain. And so I'm hoping that you all will come along. Maybe you'll learn a little bit about me, or my technique, or the way I do things. So let's get started. So the first part of this is sharing some of our favorite creations from the year. And I have always been a bright colors, lots of color kind of girl, but I definitely have fallen farther in love with rainbows and rainbow colors and patterns, whether it's like old school red, Roy G. Biv, or like, the pastels or whatever. I love a bunch of color, and rainbows have just kind of really taken their own life and with me. So this layout right here was for scrap timber, and it was to use wood veneer, and I did use a bunch of wood veneer from MK Gun, which is some assemblage required, and I used a stencil from Scrapping Reflections, which is something I did this year a lot more of, and I love that. So I am hoping to continue using more stencils through 2024. But I was documenting kind of a down, sad moment, and I thought that this was a really good way to kind of put a positive spin on it. If you know me at all, that is my typical go-to. I try and look for the silver lining or the positive. I always feel like everything happens for a reason, even when it's the really bad stuff, and this was pretty bad. I love the layout. And so this is another one. The reason I wanted to pull this one is because this is from 30 Days of Sketches, I believe in March. And I was starting my documenting of 2016, which was my goal for 2023, was to finish 2016. I used some stamps, and I don't stamp a lot because I'm got ADHD and I don't have the patience to be pristine and clear and like have a clean stamp. And so using distress stamps really makes me happy. And so I've got some distress stamping on here, documenting a sweet moment between my son and his dad when he was trying to teach him how to ride a bike, which didn't happen. But anyway, it's not the point. But I got to use some stamps, and I really liked doing that. And it makes me feel better to know that I can use stamps. Another one that I pulled was this one. This is from 30 Days of Sketches, I believe in June. But I love this because I used a stencil. I believe it is a stencil that I got from the Flare Hut, and that Lisa created. And I used some paste through it, which I love, love, love. And then I also have some wood veneers on here, I believe also from Some Assemblage Required. And I documented my boys, my son and my nephew, graduating from the 8th grade, which was a lot to take on. 2023 was rough, y'all. I had to watch my son graduate from middle school and move into high school. I'm not old enough to have a high schooler. Anyway, that's fine. My daughter turned 22 this year, so I guess I am old enough for that. But I just love the way that layout turned out. And then this one, I used a stencil, I used ink pads, I used sprays, I used all sorts of things. And this is for Mixed Media Mayhem. I documented a Netflix show that I fell in love with back in August and have not lost any love. I've only gained love and obsession for. I literally decided to create a scrapbook for the show because I have 2 seasons so far, and I fell in love with this layout, and of course the show, and of course it's rainbow. So I mean, And then this is I believe this is a Scraplift Crafternoon layout that I did. Sorry about that glare on my lovely picture of me and my very first charcuterie board. I loved the way that this layout turned out. Of course, I love 49 and Market. It's one of my favorite designers. I just appreciate the pre-mixed media look because you can add your own and use their papers. I don't know. I think that 49 Market is probably one of most people's favorites. I have a hard time using it though because I love it so much and I hate to use like, oh, this is the last one of this paper. I don't want to use it. And then another 49 and Market. This one is really special to me. In June for 30 Days of Sketches, I got to create one of the sketches and I love how it turned out. I was documenting Mother's Day, so it's my sister with my niece and nephew and my nephew pup. It's in rainbow colors, which also makes me happy. 49 and Market again. And I use this layout in my video to celebrate hitting 1,000 subscribers here on YouTube. And that just brought me so much joy this year. That is one of the highlights of this year for me, just because when I started 2 years ago, there was no way I thought that I would ever get to that point. So now I am going to start creating my cover page for my 2023 album. I pulled in 3 stencils. This one's got puppy dog paws, which is obvious why. And then leaves, I feel like the leaves really represent change, but also the show that I was talking about, Heartstopper, leaves are represent like emotions and feelings, and so I'm going to use that. And then I also have this American Crafts stencil that is hearts, and so I thought that I would use rainbow colors, I know you're shocked, and create this whole background effect with these 3 stencils. I am winging it, guys. I have no clue what I'm really doing. I'm just pulled 6 colors for rainbow pattern for ink pad, 6 colors of sprays, because after I'm done with this background paper, I am going to create or spray down this chipboard title to put on the cover. And I'm going to show it to you now. It's a Blue Fern Studios unique paper crafting design. And it says, "Every day is a story worth telling." And I thought that was the perfect thing to put on the cover page of a scrapbook. So I'm going to spray that with the inks. And like I said, the inks I have are pretty much the same as the ones I used for the ink pads, with a little bit of change because a couple of the colors I did not have. So that is the layouts that I have to share as my favorite creations for this year, my favorite projects. Some crafty lessons that I learned this year. 1, always have water at the ready or baby wipes to clean your stencils. 2, and most importantly, please date your daggone layouts. Even if you write the date on the back of your layout because you don't know exactly where you want to put the date on your layout. I date my pictures. I'm so proud of myself for dating my pictures. But guess what? When you put that picture down on paper and then tape it onto a layout, you can't see the back of that anymore. And so you need to write the daggone date down. I swear, I'm drive myself crazy with that. So that's my big takeaway for 2023 is to date your daggone layouts. And also set a goal for yourself for this year, but please be patient and graceful with yourself as well, because, you know, life hands us lemons sometimes and you can't always make lemonade out of it. And so I think that it's really important. One of the things that I learned from Scrapbooking the Day Away, which is a site my friend Anne Marie runs, is that setting goals is super important. It gives you, you know, kind of something to shoot for. But also, if you don't make your goal, even if it's, you know, super off from the goal that you set for yourself, that's okay, because, you know, having grace and understanding with yourself is important. And maybe you just spend a few minutes cleaning your scrapbooking space, or you make a layout a month, or, you know, whatever it is. You just have to be patient with yourself and show yourself grace. I mean, I guarantee you probably show it to other people. So that is a big 2023 learn for me. A blunder from this year. I have learned that I need to be more patient with myself because one of the monthly hops that I do is Stamp It Like It's Hot, or that I participate in. And I love that because, like I said, I really want to start stamping more. And so I thought that'd be a really great way to do it. And one month we were supposed to stamp with a stamp, like an actual stamp, but not with an ink pad. And so I tried like 3 or 4 different things. I was like, I knew exactly what I was going to do. It did not work for me. I got frustrated and I just ended up not participating that month. And even my friend Tara, which is the paper snob, was like giving me suggestions and like even sending me little videos of how to do stuff. And I'm like, I just got so irritated with myself. So back to, something I learned this year, be patient with yourself and don't put yourself in a point where you feel like you have to stress yourself out, because that's just not going to be helpful. And crafting is a joy of mine. It brings me so much peace. It's mental health for me. And if I make it to where I am stressing myself out, I'm not being mentally healthy with it. So it's not helping, it's hurting. So that was my big blunder for the years, that lovely stamping experience. So I'm glad that I deleted all of that and just went, decided to give myself grace and move on. My favorite technique or designer, I love winging it. I love to which is exactly what I'm doing with this layout right now. Like right now, I've just pulled some of the scraps from layouts that I've created this year, and I'm using it to back and kind of give my title, like just a little thing to sit on so that it's not blending into that really busy, beautiful rainbow pattern in the background. I want it to stand out. And so I love the way this ended up, and winging it, it really makes me happy because it's just kind of like I start and then go. And I do love doing scrap lifts. I do love doing the sketches and stuff like that, obviously, because I do that often through the year. But I do enjoy sitting down and just having some paper or a collection or some pictures and just going for it. So, and it can turn out lovely. Like in my opinion, this is turning out very lovely. So the next thing is, has your scrapbooking changed at all? I think really for me, the biggest change that I made this year was reminding myself that I did not need to just document my family and friends. I could document anything. Like I did some crazy documenting of some just random stuff that me and my friends at work were doing, or being goofy, but also documenting Heartstopper, and my favorite Netflix show. And it wasn't just documenting that it was my favorite show, it was literally documenting the storyline of the main characters in the show. And I really enjoyed doing it, and it's almost like you have a little less, not pressure, because I don't want to say that I get pressure from creating, but when you're documenting your family, you want to make sure that everything, is just so, or that you get everything just right. And with this, there was really no pressure for that. Even though, like I said, I don't really feel pressure from my family. They love my books and the layouts that I create and things like that. But I don't know, it's just something fun that I could do and not really have to think too much about. Number 6 says, what is something you achieved off of your goal for 2023? And my thing for 2023 was I wanted to finish 2016, and I wanted to stay up to date with 2023 as close as possible. And I did do that. I did complete my 2016 book, and I am almost done with 2023. I think I'll be done with that by maybe the end of January, possibly. My goal for 2024 is to also keep up with 2024 and to complete 2015, because I'm going backwards. I definitely want to continue in 2024 with the hops that I have participated in this year. Scraplift Crafternoon on Sundays, 30 Days of Sketches, with Christy's Beautiful Life, Scrap Timber, all the different things, Iron Crafters Challenge, all of these things that really encourage me to use my product and to try new things. So I'm looking forward to doing that. And then last, it wants me to talk about scrapbooking, people who have inspired me or that I want to do shout outs for. And Scraplift Crafternoon, there is a group of ladies, and I will make sure that they get linked below. They are definitely some of the ones who inspire me a lot. We take a layout every Sunday that we find that inspires us, and then we scrap lift it, and it's so neat to see the way that we use the same layout and create, sometimes with the same collection, sometimes with different, and sometimes it looks super different. I just love that, and like I said, it really encourages me. So I will have their information linked below because those ladies are phenomenal. And then also some of the other creatives that I love to watch. So here is the finished cover page for 2023. I love how this turned out. Of course, it's rainbow, makes me happy. I pulled in some different little word phrases and some little embellishments to kind of just tuck in like the color coding. Of course, I had to add that little rainbow in there. And I do love the way that the each day is a story worth telling turned out. I just added little phrase on here: be brave with your life, live your life, start doing things you love, have an open heart, and be authentic. I feel like those really represent 2023 because I really had to learn who I was and be myself authentically, and I want to continue doing that in 2024. I really, really do appreciate you all. I love you all. I love creating and I love sharing that with you. I love getting comments and questions, and some of you all have been super, super amazing with your comments and things. And I have had some people who have turned into good friends from just watching my videos, and I just appreciate you all so much. So I hope you all come back again. I look forward to seeing you in 2024. Have a great day, and I hope you get a chance today to do something you love with someone you love. Happy scrapping!